You've just built something important, not a collection of techniques you perform, not a checklist you run through at the start of each session. What you've built is a way of being with your clients, one that creates the conditions where real transformation becomes possible. So here's the thing. Trust and safety aren't add-ons to good coaching. They're the foundation everything else depends on. Without them, your clients will stay on the surface. They'll give you the polished version of themselves, the version that looks good but isn't where the growth work lives. Let's make sure what you've learned here really sticks. I want you to notice something about what's on this slide. It says trust and safety are the foundation everything else depends on. And it says you've learned a way of being, not just techniques to perform. That distinction matters more than you might realize right now. Because here's what happens with a lot of coaches. They learn the competencies, they memorize the markers, they can recite what ICF says about trust and safety. And then they walk into sessions and perform those competencies instead of embodying them. Your clients can feel the difference. When you're performing safety, they stay guarded. When you're being safe, when it's who you are in that space, they exhale, they drop the mask. That's what you're building here. Let's walk through what you've learned. Understanding their world means getting outside your own map. Remember, your filter is not their filter. Their experiences, their identity, their values, their beliefs, these shape everything about how they see their situation. Your job is to adapt to them, not the other way around. And here's something I hope you carry with you. You may be the only safe space your client has. Think about that executive we talked about, the one who can't confide downward to their team, can't confide sideways to their peers, and won't show weakness upward. Smart, capable people who have literally no one to process with until they have you. Acknowledging and supporting goes deeper than most coaches realize. You're not just noticing what your client says. You're seeing what they cannot see in themselves, their strengths, their growth, their potential, especially when they're blind to it. You trust their competence. You hold the belief that they are whole, complete, and resourceful, even when they've forgotten that about themselves. And you show genuine care, not performed care, real care. Here's the part that matters most. You champion who they are as people, not just what they accomplish or achieve. The whole human being sitting across from you, that's who you're partnering with. Holding space for emotion. This is where a lot of coaches get uncomfortable, and that discomfort can shut down exactly what your client needs. Emotions are data, not problems. When your client feels something strongly, that's information about what matters to them. It's not an obstacle to get past so you can return to real coaching. Sometimes venting has its place. They need to get it off their chest before they can move forward. Honor that. And yes, there is crying in coaching. It happens, and it's okay. Your job isn't to fix it or rush past it. Your job is to create space for expression without making it weird. Just be there. Being human builds trust. This might be the most counterintuitive thing we've covered. Your imperfection gives permission for their imperfection. When you show up as a flawless coaching machine, your client feels like they need to be perfect too. And perfect people don't grow, they just perform. Clinical detachment kills safety. Authentic connection builds it. Remember, can I take that back and try again? Is one of the most powerful things you can say as a coach. It's not weakness. It's modeling what's possible in this space. Think about the coach who finally stopped performing competence and started connecting as a human being. That's when everything changed. You've built the foundation, understanding their world, acknowledging who they are, holding space for whatever they bring, being human yourself. These aren't things you learned once and move on from. They're practices you'll deepen with every client, every session for the rest of your coaching career. And now we're ready for the next step. Module 4 is about presence, how you show up fully with your client. Presence builds on this foundation of trust and safety, because once you've created a space where your client feels truly safe, the question becomes, how do you stay fully there with them? Not distracted, not planning your next question, completely present. That's where we're going next. I'll see you there.